Ever wonder what flight attendants really think of you? Not what they say, what they think. Behind that polished smile, that chicken or pasta voice, that perfect posture during turbulence, there's a running list. A list of things passengers do that quietly, consistently, absolutely drive them nuts. And no one's immune. The overpacker, the aisle stander, the guy who thinks the call button is a conversation starter. If you've flown more than twice, odds are you've made the list. So if you've ever caught a side-eye from behind the galley curtain and thought, was that about me? Buckle up. Here are 17 things flight attendants secretly hate, and exactly how not to be that passenger. Let's start with the move that guarantees a crew-wide eye roll before the plane even takes off. The boarding line is crawling forward. You're almost at your seat when, bam, someone darts into the lav like it's a race. Seems harmless, right? Not to the crew. Boarding is timed down to the minute. If it runs late, the blame falls on the flight attendants, not the person who couldn't wait 5 more minutes. One bathroom break at the wrong moment can clog the aisle, mess up the head count, and in the worst-case scenario, the plane misses its takeoff slot, all because someone made a bad call on timing. What most passengers don't realize? During boarding, those lavs are usually still being cleaned and restocked. If you rush in, you're stepping straight into someone else's prep time and possibly onto a wet floor. Also, per FAA rules, a plane can't take off if someone's in the lav or not seated with their seatbelt fastened. So if the pilot gets clearance and you're still in there, they've got to hold the plane. And when that happens, it's not just the crew side-eyeing you, it's the entire cabin. So here's the fix. Hit the terminal restroom before you board. It's bigger, it's cleaner, and most importantly, no one's judging you while you stand in line holding a carry-on and doing the pee dance. Let's clear this up right now. That flight attendant, the one who smiled while handing you pretzels, they're not flirting. They're working. Smiling is part of the uniform. Being friendly, it's in the training manual. And that lingering eye contact might have just been them zoning out, mentally calculating how many meals are left in the galley. Yet somehow, every week, someone thinks the drink cart is a dating opportunity. One flight attendant put it best, "We're not up here looking for love, we're just hoping the Wi-Fi works." And those corny mile-high club jokes? Not cute, not clever, definitely not happening. That lav is barely big enough to turn around in, let alone host a romantic subplot. It's not sexy, it's claustrophobic. Now, if you genuinely feel like there's a spark, fine. Wait until after landing. Hand over your number discreetly. Let them decide if they want to follow up, ideally when they're not balancing a hot coffee tray and dodging turbulence. Or better yet, if it's meant to be, you'll match on Tinder later. Let swipe right fate do the rest. You've seen the clips, a tense exchange mid-flight. Someone whips out their phone. A few swipes later, it's on TikTok, and suddenly, the crew member is starring in a viral drama they didn't ask to be in. But here's what people forget. Recording flight attendants without their consent? It's not just rude, it's disruptive. First, it puts them on edge. They're trying to manage safety, service, and 100 personalities in a flying metal tube, and now they've got a camera in their face. Second, it raises tensions. A cabin isn't the place for showdowns. It's not a courtroom. It's not a reality show set. It's a workplace. And they're just trying to do their job without becoming tomorrow's clickbait. Got a complaint? Totally valid. File it after the flight. Most airlines take it seriously. But pulling out your phone mid-conflict doesn't solve problems. It just adds fuel to a pressurized situation. Respect the space. Respect the crew. And unless you're filming your travel vlog about how good the stroopwafel was, maybe leave the camera off. You've seen it happen. Someone heaves a suitcase into the aisle, glances at the overhead bin, then turns to the nearest flight attendant with that hopeful, "Can you help me?" look. Here's the deal. If you packed it, you should be able to lift it. Flight attendants are not personal porters, and they're definitely not trained in Olympic weightlifting. That overhead bag you swear is not that heavy? Multiply it by 10 passengers a day, and suddenly we're talking shoulder injuries, slip discs, and crew calling out sick. And no, saying I just had surgery or it's mostly shoes doesn't make it their job. Now, of course, if you're elderly, pregnant, or dealing with a real medical issue, most flight attendants will step in to assist. But if you're just hoping someone else will lift your overstuffed carry-on because you don't feel like doing it, that's not helping, it's taking advantage. So pack smart, use wheels, or better yet, check the bag. Your flight crew will thank you, and your fellow passengers won't have to dodge falling suitcases from row 21. You've got your headphones in, movies rolling, snacks in hand, you're finally relaxed until a shadow appears. It's the drink cart, and a flight attendant is asking, coffee or tea? Except you don't hear it, or worse, you hear it but pretend not to. Thing is, service in the air runs like a domino line. If one person stalls, the whole aisle backs up. Flight attendants are trying to serve 150 people before the ice melts and the turbulence hits. So when they stand there waiting while you zone out to your action movie or playlist, that slows everyone down. The fix? Super simple. As the cart approaches, glance up, take out one earbud, nod, smile, answer. That's it. No deep conversation needed, just a basic human moment so the service can keep flowing. Because let's be real, they're not trying to interrupt your vibe. They're just trying to make sure everyone gets a drink before it turns into lukewarm mystery liquid. The lights dim, the seatbelt sign dings, a flight attendant steps into the aisle, ready to demo how to stay alive if things go sideways. And what happens? Half the cabin puts on headphones, the other half scrolls Instagram like they're waiting for popcorn. But here's the truth. That safety demo isn't background noise. It's not a performance. It's the information that could save your life. Actually save your life if something goes wrong. Even if you're a frequent flyer, things change. Exits move, procedures vary, and in a real emergency, your brain's gonna reach for whatever it remembers last. If that memory is just the opening scene of your Netflix show, not ideal. And from the crew's point of view, it's not just frustrating, it's kind of demoralizing. They're doing their job to protect you, and everyone's acting like it's optional. So do yourself and them a favor. Give it 2 minutes of real attention. Look up, locate the exits, watch how the vest works. It's a small gesture, but it shows respect for the people responsible for getting you back on the ground in one piece. Besides, some airlines make it fun. You might actually enjoy it, and unlike the movie, this one doesn't cost extra. A little turbulence hits, the seatbelt sign dings, and like clockwork, someone stands up, pops the overhead bin, and starts digging around like they're looking for buried treasure. Meanwhile, the flight attendants, buckled in, holding on. Here's the golden rule. If the crew is strapped in, you should be too. That seatbelt sign isn't a casual suggestion. It means conditions are unstable, and moving around could turn you into a human ping pong ball. You could trip, get slammed by a cart, fall on another passenger, or worse, cause a chain reaction of chaos. And no, going into the bin for your gum, your lotion, or your book doesn't count as a medical emergency. Unless it's life or limbs, stay seated. You'll have plenty of time to stretch and grab your stuff once things settle down. Flight attendants already have enough to deal with. Don't make them add catching airborne adults to the list. You're thirsty, or chilly, or wondering what time your connection boards. So, you press the call button. Totally fair. But if you're pressing it every 10 minutes, for a napkin, an extra snack, a flight update, more peanuts, a second blanket, a seat switch, yeah, now you're that passenger. Flight attendants are happy to help. That's their job. But when someone treats the call button like a hotel bell, it stops being helpful and starts being, well, a running joke. And yes, they notice. Over time, you might find that button gets a little less effective. Not ignored, just quietly deprioritized. So use it when it matters. Need water? Sure. Feeling unwell? Absolutely. But if it can wait till the next pass of the cart, let it wait. Because this isn't first class with private butlers. It's a flying aluminum tube with 200 people, 3 drink carts, and about as much elbow room as a broom closet. You've had the menu in your hand for an hour, maybe even opened it twice. Then the meal cart rolls up, and you look the flight attendant dead in the eye and ask, "So, what are the options?" That sigh you hear? It's not the engine. It's their soul briefly leaving their body. Meal service on a plane runs on tight timing. Every moment one person takes to decide means someone else is still waiting with their tray down, wondering if they'll get chicken or just disappointment. So do everyone a favor, make the call early. Or if you truly can't decide, just smile and say, "Surprise me." You'll get a decent meal, and the crew will silently thank you for not turning a 2-item menu into a philosophical crisis. This isn't a tasting menu at a rooftop restaurant. It's about getting food to 150 people before turbulence hits. Airplane food isn't fancy, we all know that. But the moment the cart starts rolling down the aisle, something happens. People lose all sense of chill. Let's start with expectations. If your first choice meal runs out, it's not a personal attack. Planes only load a set number of each option. So if 12 people before you chose chicken and you're number 13, that's not sabotage, it's just math. Now, timing. When the meal cart is moving through the aisle, that's not your cue to stretch your legs or take your toddler for a lap around the cabin. Those carts are heavy, they don't steer well. And if one clips your shin, yes, it hurts. But giving the flight attendant a death stare afterward doesn't make it their fault. And then, there's the tray chaos. Some passengers think they're being helpful by handing over their used tray mid-service. But if the crew is still serving fresh meals, guess where your tray goes? Right where the clean ones are supposed to land. Translation: mess. Oh, and please don't set your tray on the floor. Nobody wants to go fishing for leftover lasagna under your seat like it's a sad game of airplane limbo. Last thing, stacking. People love to build little towers with cups inside bowls, inside napkins, like they're competing on Top Chef Turbulence Edition. But flight attendants don't need origami, they need a flat tray. Every extra layer is a delay. So do everyone a favor, keep it simple, hand it back flat, and let the crew do their thing. It's a meal service, not a puzzle challenge. The trash bag comes down the aisle. It's your cue. Time to hand over that empty cup, snack wrapper, or used napkin you've been hoarding in the seat pocket. But instead, you stare into the void, or worse, shove everything deeper into that pocket like it's a personal trash can. Newsflash, that pocket? It's not a bin. Someone else is going to sit there after you. And if it's a quick turnaround flight, the crew might have less than 15 minutes to clean the cabin before the next wave of passengers boards. When you ignore the trash run, you're not just being messy, you're creating work for people who are already sprinting to reset the plane. And handing off your garbage while the flight attendant's arms are full of drinks? Not ideal either. It's like tossing your fast food bag at someone holding a tray of cocktails. Just wait for the actual trash pass. Use it. Don't leave behind a battlefield of crumbs, wrappers, and mystery napkins. A small cleanup goes a long way, especially when the person collecting your trash might have just finished their third flight of the day. The cabin's full. You're halfway through your meal, elbow to elbow with strangers, when suddenly it hits you. Not turbulence, not engine noise, a smell. Yep, someone just changed a diaper, right there, on the tray table. Look, we get it. Traveling with a baby is hard, but that tray, it's for food, not that. And the seat? That's where someone else has to sit for the next 5 hours, not a makeshift changing station. Every airplane has a lavatory with a changing table. It might be cramped, but it's there for a reason. That's where diapers go, not row 22, sandwiched between two strangers trying to eat their pasta. And please, don't hand the used diaper to a flight attendant like it's part of the dinner trash. Wrap it up. Seal it in a bag. Walk it to the lav trash bin like the responsible adult you are. Because changing a diaper on a tray table isn't efficient. It's a health hazard, and once you've done that, nobody's enjoying their lasagna anymore. It might seem harmless, a quick tap on the arm, a gentle touch on the shoulder, maybe a little grab at the elbow to say, "Excuse me." But think about it. Would you do that to a stranger working at a restaurant? If the answer is no, then don't do it at 35,000 feet either. Flight attendants are navigating a cramped, moving space, often with trays of hot drinks or trying to stay steady during turbulence. Getting poked, grabbed, or nudged out of nowhere? Not just annoying, it's borderline disrespectful. Need help? Totally fine. Use your voice. Press the call button. Make eye contact. Just keep your hands to yourself. Because in a space where personal boundaries are already tight, physical contact shouldn't be your go-to method of communication. A little courtesy goes a long way, especially when the person you're reaching for is one jolt away from spilling a full pot of coffee. The plane starts its descent. The intercom chimes, "Please return your seat back to the upright position and stow your tray table." And yet, your seat is still fully reclined. Your tray is hosting crumbs, a Sudoku book, and maybe a half-finished granola bar. You might think no one notices, but the flight attendants? They always notice. These aren't polite suggestions. They're actual safety procedures. Your seat and tray need to be in position so that in case of a rough landing or emergency stop, no one gets blocked, trapped, or smacked in the face with your unfinished crossword puzzle. And don't fake sleep. They've seen that move more times than you've seen the seatbelt demo. Spoiler, it doesn't work. You'll still get the shoulder tap, and now it's awkward for both of you. Be an adult. Sit up. Fold the tray. It takes 5 seconds, and it shows the crew that you're not treating safety like background noise. The plane lands. You grab your bag, stretch, and get ready to deplane. But the seat you're leaving behind? Looks like a snack pack tornado hit it. Crumbs everywhere. Used tissues. A half-sucked mint stuck to the seatbelt. The seat pocket? Stuffed with wrappers, like it's auditioning for landfill duty. Here's the reality. Flight attendants don't get to chill when wheels hit the ground. Often, they have less than 30 minutes to clean, reset, and prep for the next group of passengers. And when they find your row looking like the aftermath of a toddler birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, it's not just gross, it's demoralizing. So do your part. Toss your trash when the bag comes around. Brush off the crumbs. Don't leave the seat pocket looking like it's holding a grudge against the airline. No one's asking for perfection, just basic decency. Leave it better than a gas station bathroom, and you're already winning. So now you know 17 things flight attendants secretly hate, and exactly how not to be the reason they roll their eyes once the curtain closes. Flying doesn't have to be stressful. A little self-awareness, a little kindness, and a lot less tuna salad can go a long way, especially when you're sharing air, armrests, and 4 lavs with 180 other people. If you learned something new or had that "oh, I've done that" moment, hit that like button. Send this video to your favorite travel buddy, especially the one who stacks cups like it's Jenga. And don't forget to subscribe for more behind-the-scenes tips from the friendly skies. Fly smart, fly kind, and seriously, leave the tuna at home.